I'm going to bench test this new WeBoost. This is the WeBoost Drive Reach RV cell signal booster. I just received it the other day, and it came with an AC adapter, which is the standard thing that that's included with all of these. Apparently, you can buy a DC adapter for an additional $30, but I am not inclined to do that, especially since the output on the wart on this AC adapter is 12 volts DC. So it seems silly to be converting my 12 volt DC power in my RV to 120 volts AC at a cost, and then converting it back to 12 volt DC in order to run this device. So it occurred to me, I was thinking that I might just cut the plug off my AC adapter and strip the wires and wire it directly into my system. But then it occurred to me that I have this 12 volt, actually this is a variable output power bank, which I bought to use with my travel laptop. I've since upgraded my travel laptop, and the old one ran on 20 volts, which this is the maximum that this can put out. My new one runs on 20 watts, excuse me. My new one runs on 65 watts. So my power bank, which was working just fine for my old laptop, no longer works for my new laptop. So I have a redundant power bank, which is still perfectly good and high capacity. It occurred to me that it came with a bunch of an output cable with a bunch of adapters. There are the adapters. There's one missing, but it comes with a whole slew of different adapters to work with various laptops. And it occurred to me that probably one of those would mate quite nicely with the input on my WeBoost, and I could power it from my power bank, and that would expand the capacity of my electrical system in my RV, which is I have a 300 amp hour lithium ion battery for the house battery, plus I have a 100 amp hour lithium ion battery in a solar generator that's a standalone complete system. It's got an inverter, it's got DC outputs. The only thing it doesn't have is a built-in solar panel, but I've got it wired into one of the solar panels on the roof, so I can that's a 160 watt solar panel. I can either use that to charge my solar generator, or I can tie it into the system with the other 260 watts of solar panels to charge my house battery. 260 watt panels are always wired into my house system, and this one is a floater. I can use it either way. So I have a total of 400 amp hours of capacity in my RV, which is usually adequate, but there are times when, especially living here in the north, when the charging conditions aren't ideal, and we're using more and more of the power for a lot of different things. We upgraded from an ice chest that we were using for years to a refrigerator last year, a small, I think it's a 56 quart refrigerator. And so that has to have power all the time. And we have other things that we run all the time off the electrical system. So having a little extra capacity is not a bad thing. Plus, I have other ways that I can charge this. I have a 40 watt folding solar panel that I bought to be able to charge my cell phone and my laptop, and I can use that to charge my power bank. And so I don't necessarily have to rob the capacity from the rooftop solar panels to be able to recharge this power bank, although I can just charge it by plugging it into the house system as well. So I wanted to bench test this and make sure that it would work properly before I get too invested in this plan. And according to the instructions, you're supposed to have both antennas connected to the booster before you power it up, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I don't think it's all that critical that it be connected to the antennas, but rather than take a chance on my booster that I just paid a lot of money for, rather than taking a chance that I might damage it, I'm going to just connect the antennas. It's easy enough to do, so that then I can bench test it. This is these antennas are much too close together. They're on the same tabletop, so to actually boost a signal, this would not be a good setup, but I think for the purposes of testing whether my power bank is going to work as a power source or not, I think it'll work out fine. So I discovered in checking the adapters, the cable adapters for my power bank against both the input port on the WeBoost and the end on the AC adapter that came with it, I found one that matches. That's this one here. But I also discovered that it appears to be exactly the same as the end without an adapter on it. And I checked it with the port on the WeBoost, and it seems to fit perfectly well. So I'm going to just try the naked cable, and there it is, green light. So that's excellent. So that means that I can. All right, I'm getting the flashing red light, which is telling me that my antennas are too close together and they're interfering with one another. Big surprise. I don't really care about that because I'm not going to be using it right now. I just wanted to test and make sure that the power supply was going to work, and it appears that it will. So what that means is that I can mount my WeBoost in a convenient place, and rather than having to hardwire it into the system or run it through the inverter or buy the $30 DC adapter and then plug it into a DC power port, I can instead use this. And we don't intend to leave this powered on all the time. We plan to use it on an as-needed basis. And I have other power banks that I think will work with this. I'm going to double check and make sure that they will, just in case this one craps out on me before I expect it will. I think it's got plenty of life left in it, but you never know with batteries. So I'm going to double check and make sure that I've got alternative sources of power besides this one power bank before I get too married to this idea. But I'm encouraged that it powered up. The green light came on, so it seems like it works fine. So that ends this bench test, and I'm gonna wait. I've got a few other things that I'm kicking around for installation ideas, and I'm going to have to buy some parts before I can do that. And it's the day after Christmas right now, so the weather is not ideal for working on the van, and we got plenty of time before we're going to need this. We're planning a spring trip for probably leaving around the end of April, so I've got almost 5 months before I'm really going to need this. So I'm going to table the actual installation for a while and give my plans time to mature and buy the additional parts that I'm going to need to do the installation right. And I'll keep you posted on the installation, and And ultimately I'll let you know how it works out, but I think it's going to work just fine. Thanks. Talk to you later.